This week in comic books, Monkey Prince came out, and oh, it was good, and it was good on many different levels. And we're gonna break that down. Also, in the land of Marvel, we got the excellent thing, and I'm just gonna stop picking up titles from Marvel that have the letter X in front of them because they're just a waste of my time at this point. And over in the land of Independence, Primos comes out, and it's fantastic for the same reasons as Monkey Prince. And we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive on them without getting too weird about it. That everything that's going on in the communities and a few other things. So stick around and let's hit an intro. Hey, what's going on, you wonderful weirdos? Pocan Joe here, back at it again. Another week of comic books. Not an overly big haul this week, only 7 comic books I was able to pick up. But I think this is probably the most comic books I liked in one haul. Only one really kind of me a little bit. But let's jump into it with DC right up off the bat. Even for a slow issue, Steel is still proving to be a good story. In this one, of course, we got to deal with this whole Bruce Wayne and his family dying and what really happened and who's his real daddy. Kind of had to explain that one out a little bit. And as awkward as it weird. The only thing that is like, right, Joel, right, slept with Martha Wayne, right? They made Bruce Wayne, right? And then like both families were still cool and friends afterwards. I don't know how you would have handled that, but I don't think I would have been that cool about it. But it's comic book. Everybody gets along. So we also find out something very intriguing in here. Where's Lex Luthor been this whole time? We'll come to find out. Lex Luthor here is sort of an amalgamation of the Joker, Lex Luthor, and the Green Lantern, kind of all rolled into one. We're using Kryptonite as sort of like the ring, the Green Lantern ring in this. I think that's an interesting take. Also, I think it conceptualizes or capsulizes the story a lot better too. So we don't go running down rabbit holes of why this, why that. Just throw the three things together and bam, send it forward. So yeah, Lex Luthor is the Green Man in this one, and apparently he smiles like the Joker. Still love the artwork in here. Like the points where it needs to be detailed, it's very detailed, and then the rest of the stuff you don't care about, right? So basically, this was just a flashback issue. How they grew up, what kind of happened there, the in-between issue, if you will, just to kind of explain something that could turn into a plot hole very quickly. So it's smart for the writer to take a little time and like, hey, just to kind of, we claimed this, we hinted at this, let's explain it real quick. I liked that. That was pretty cool. But still an in-between issue. Next, Monkey Prince. Alright, so I like this, right? If you take old school Spider-Man, update him a little bit to today where like sneakers are his thing, right? His kicks are a big deal to him, and he's in an awkward school. He gets moved around a lot, but now we add the comic book flavoring to it. His parents work for the Penguin, right? Batman has traumatized our young Monkey Prince when he was interrogating Dad in the living room, Batman not realizing there was a kid there, really kind of traumatized him. So he's got to deal with that as well, fear and being traumatized so young. And then the family, of course, moves around a lot. New school, that's awkward. And then his little thing where he's got all these fears. So if he like steps in water, he kind of vaguely has a flashback, and does that noise, hinting that he's going to be, right, the Monkey Prince. And this is great. So here's why I really like this. I love the fact that we're diving into other types of lore out there. Chinese lore, their mythos, a lot of their culture being represented in here. It's beautiful. It's something I think a lot of the comic book community has always said, stop swapping this, stop swapping that. Not that any of that matters. Make your own characters. And we are. They are. I'm not doing it. They are. They're bringing up their own characters. They're using their own cultures and their own mythos. And you know what? It's cool because there's great storytelling in there. A lot of allegory and a lot of metaphor. Stories always have a point to them. A lot of great mythos in there. And I'm super happy that we're kind of going down this road instead of another ancient Viking barbarian or Roman, whatever. We're actually diving into a very rich culture with lots of great storytelling and great characters too. So yeah, this is cool. I would definitely be picking this up. Now, all in all, um, it was an okay story. Again, it's kind of like a Peter Parker type of thing. It's all that. It's pretty tropey in that aspect of it, but some of the cool things that the Monkey Prince is able to do, like take his head off and stuff like that, is being represented in here. So I really enjoyed that. That high marks from me on that one. Next, Arkham City. I can't help but think about this book and laugh a little bit. Not that anything's funny in the book, but just how much I actually enjoy it. And the art just drives me crazy in it. I'm not a critic of art by no means, but when I'm reading something and the art's just taking over the words and it's making it hard to read. And that could just be me. Definitely comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the artwork in here. Definitely. I really enjoy this because it kind of deals with these kind of norms of what normal is. I've said this before about this comic book. It's very important for the mental patients to act as if they are normal. And that's just it. There is no acting normal. There's no real normal. You can argue that in a whole nother level. We're not going to go down that road. But it's more extremes, right? So the more extreme you have to be to act normal, the more mentally ill you are at the end of the day. So that's really cool. But this whole new Arkham thing, we're bringing Pig in. That's P-Y-G. Professor Pig, wants to make everything perfect and beautiful. He's apparently running this kind of underground asylum right now. We have the Dr. Joy kind of, deciding, what's really going on here. We find out that the Arkham ghost is actually a patient of Arkham that could change her face around. Why they couldn't figure that out to begin with, or that was even a clue instead of going straight to a ghost, I don't know. I'm not diving into it. But yeah, this is interesting. It seems like the characters and the staging of this, right? Being Gotham and being this character, that character from Bad. Is this all kind of like a backseat thing? This seems like it could be any type of movie or anything else out there with any other character, and it would still be just as entertaining. And I think that's why I really enjoy this. Like, I don't need to have, the vampire girl or the glowing skeleton guy. They could be anything else, and it would still work. So yeah, and whatever this whole face is, I guess that's the character that can change their appearance. So yeah. And that's so weird because that cover is so nice. And then when I crack it open, I'm like, whoa. All right. Garbage issue this week. I've done my best on the show here. Things to be a little bit lighter hitting. But this is just straight garbage. It's so bad. I can't even the characters having an issue with it. I'm sure it happened someplace else, but if I'm picking up an issue 1, I should get some kind of understanding what's going on. Zeitgeist apparently has a team, and then there's another team, and one's looking for social media type clout, and dogging on the other one. And the other ones are making a movie to dog. Everything's very heavily reliant on social media and getting those likes and those views and all that in here. And then we got all this other stuff that's kind of randomly happened. We get a rock lady that can make a wall out of herself. I don't know what's going on with the creative teams over at it, but it's hard to review this and talk to you because there was like 12 things going on all at the same time. I'm not sure where the actual story is in here, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. I'm almost. They say there was an editor on it, but I don't know what he was doing that day. He was supposed to review this. Yeah, shame. Yeah, I don't know, but we had to get it right. We know why. Mama Pocan likes her Scotty Young covers, and that's pretty interesting. I'm vaguely familiar with this character. Gotta say something nice. Alright, next. Savage Spider-Man. Now, if you know Pocan Joe, you know I love my Savage stories, my Savage Avengers. It's just savagery. There's some noblesse to it. And this, again, gives us that noblesse that we like about savagery. And here we get our Savage Spider-Man. He's on an island. There's some zombies there. Zemo's there, super racist. right? They have to team up briefly and kind of bite them up. But Savage Spider-Man's like, he doesn't like Zemo, doesn't like the zombies. He has a very primitive brain, but he has a very noblesse personality to him. And he understands that this isn't a survival game, it's an alpha game. And he spits his mouth webbing on everybody to kind of convert them over to his team. I guess he takes those things over. Not very too steeped in the lore of Savage Spider-Man. But my assumption is that if he spits this stuff on him, he can like control them or whatever, or he's the alpha to the group at that point. So that's what kind of happened here. We got a group of bad guys that are like, let's take over the world, destroy what we want to destroy. They're very Roger rules of order in here, like motion and second death. Yeah, it was really kind of interesting to see that in a comic book, to see that much of a parliamentary procedure type of thing go on in here. I thought it was interesting. But for the most part, this is just straight savagery. And I think that's the highlight of the story. I'm going to follow this one down. It would be the only... And I'm happy that I picked this up, actually, for my wife and actually read it. It turned out to be a joy. I would have probably looked right over it. So, yeah. Little surprises. It's still little surprises in life, folks. Just a little ones. Next, Once and Future. This is one of those rare ongoing titles that I pick up every issue of. I very much enjoy it. Picking it up at this point probably wouldn't make much sense to you what's going on. But if you don't know, we basically take Arthur type lore, the different stories of King Arthur and that time era, right? And we kind of bring them into the real world, have to battle them. So we got an evil King Arthur who really doesn't like the world. If you don't know, King Arthur and its original storytelling was a bit of a racist. Just know that. He did not like Saxtons, like off with their head type attitude. But in this one, we finally get a character who we can all recognize to some degree. Robin Hood's coming in, and that's really cool because it kind of fits, right? Probably a lot more than the Green Knight or Bale or anybody like that. So it's really cool that they're bringing in a type of Green or Robin Hood character. So what will that look like? What will it turn out? That was our cliffhanger in this one. Will he be good? Will he be bad? I don't know, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it either way. So yeah. And last but not least, Primos. So again, same reason over at Monkey Prince. We're diving into different lores and bringing new characters to light. Everybody should be represented in a comic book. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that interesting storytelling with great metaphors and the anthology of lore throughout different cultures is a beautiful thing. And this is one about the Mayans, which, again, just a very interesting group of people. And we get to see that. This kind of takes place with we're kind of playing with the ancient alien thing, with them going into space. A little woo-woo there. But, you got to push a comic book story forward. Probably the best way to do it. Introduce aliens. Right? That's the goal in this one. And we find out that there's something unique about our kid in here. Again, another young kid. Hasn't quite got life figured out. This one's a little heavy on the drugs and alcohol scene. But, he loves his family and everything. And just the whole Mayan thing that's about to happen in here. I just absolutely enjoy it. If my comic book shop has it, I'm buying it. And it's great, classic comic book art in here. That's not a great action scene, but just for a second there, you get the expressionism on their face and everything. It's really well done. So yeah, kudos to the writers over at AWA. I know I've been critical of some of their stuff, and some of their stuff I like. So I think I've been pretty fair with them, and I really am enjoying this. This is good. So I've been holding off on talking about Boba Fett for a while now, and I gotta tell you, I am super, super excited. We're dealing a lot with various parts of the Star Wars universe I'm not too familiar with, and one of them is this Cod Bane character at the end, the gunslinging looking thing with the right. Did a little research on him. Come find out, he's just that. He's actually modeled after a character in The Good, Bad, and Ugly, according to the directors. So that was really cool to see that. This whole Star Wars and Goku having to make a decision. Luke Skywalker's like, yeah, you can go be a Mandalorian or a Jedi. You can't have both, right? Like, you got to make a decision here. At such a young age, it's weird, but It is what's going on. I personally think my prediction, I don't know for sure, but I got this sneaky kind of feeling Goku's going to go be with the Mandalorians. I think he's going to leave the Jedi thing. I think this because in the movie, the last few that we saw, Luke Skywalker's first student was his sister. She became a Jedi. Remember that whole thing? They did the thing with the training. I don't know if you remember. If you remember, comment down below. I'm probably not explaining this well, but I distinctly remember that. So I don't think it's going to be our Goku character because that's the temple and everything that we saw on fire that Kylo Ren destroyed, right? So I got a feeling Goku's going to. Plus they got the ship now with the little seat in the back. It's like a spaceship car seat for babies. It just makes sense to me. I don't know, but it was cool seeing Yoda's lightsaber, right? And just so many characters. We got introduced probably to more characters in the last 2 episodes that made it just fantastic. And I'll be honest, I was kind of starting to die off on it. I was like, okay, you're really pushing hard on the spaghetti western thing, and the reasons why I don't watch spaghetti westerns, and then you did this cool stuff, and I'm like, I'm on board. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I'll keep watching that. Waiting for Peacemaker to come out. Probably catch that tomorrow. Community. So a lot of great weeks. Hey, congratulations to everybody that was in the epic rap battle. All of us comic book nerds sitting there spitting hot fire on the mic. Thank you for the judges that were there. We had Manny from Manny's Different Perspective. We had Jarvin, the artist, the comic book artist. He was there as well, who's also known as Illis Illuminati, a rapper himself. It was really nice. I was a little nervous about that because we all know I'm not a rapper. I'm just a guy who just wanted to try it. Go figure. So thank you for all those great guys, all the great chats that have been going on, all the great chat rooms I've been in. Thank you, everybody. It was on Geeked Out with Roscoe, Legion of Comics 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Yeah, it's been a busy month. Oof. Things are starting to slow down. Oh, I was on the Villains draft thing as well. That was fun. Great times with everybody out there. Had a blast. So what's going on here with the channel? So if you didn't notice, down in the link, I decided to open up a little merch store for all you villains out there. Maybe you want a polo shirt, a little logo on it. I'm not saying where you get that fashions from. Just saying. If you're going to pop a collar, you need a collar. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just really kind of playing around with it. I'm not really pushing it hard or anything like that. I may do a couple of little animated shorts for it and put those out there just for fun, really. But, you know, if so inclined, please definitely check it out. All proceeds are going to go to me and the Evil Lair. Different projects for the Evil Lair and stuff like that. See if we can upscale some of the projects in there. Speaking of upscaling projects, this month's February, it's a short month, so I decided to challenge myself even harder this month. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 items in a short month, and I'm going to make them as quickly as I can for 2 people in the community. 2 things that are the same, but slightly different, much like these 2 people. So it should be fun, and I'm keeping this one secret. Well, I mean, they know, but you don't, unless they tell you, which would be awkward. Let's find out what happens. We're going to get through this one together. So definitely keep your eyes open for the promo. That should be hitting out soon. You'll get the concept and the theme of what we're going to do. I think you're going to like it. Definitely check that out. What else is going on? DJ Links has got his 2,000 subscriber giveaway that he's about to have. Definitely check that out. You know you're going to get some sick prizes over there. Like, I'm just saying. Like, support. But if you can get something, why not? Alright guys, I got nothing else. I gotta get out to the Evil Lair and start figuring out how I'm gonna do this project. Alright guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.